the Archer.
Somewhere back there on the pages of time, there was a man with a fortune, and he said it was mine. So I followed the man to the end of the line, but when I got to the end, I found a pretty good liar. What's a man to do with his future when he can't turn back the pages of time?
LAF followed me, its virtuous patience steadily and continuously squeezing my heart out of arrhythmia. Like a man wishing to die but fighting to live when that moment arrives, I pushed away from the concept of loving, accepting, and forgiving, believing that my mind knew better than my heart. Somewhere back there, someone had told me that LAF was a fool.
Get your own. Don't blink. LAF is a heartbreaker. This won't last. Look out for number 1. Good guys finish last. Love will surely hurt you in the end. Forgive? Fine. Forget? Never. If you are going to accept anything, accept that you are an outcast of this world. You are not a sojourner. You are stuck here, and the only joy you will find is holding whatever joy you can find firmly in your hand. Do not be deceived by opening your mind to anything outside of yourself. Do not give that joy away. It will hurt when it is gone. Be selfish with it. Waste not. Want not. There is no joy in the journey, only sorrow, grief, death.
That's what they said. That's what they will always say. It will be said throughout even the unwritten pages of time. Do you believe it? Is the world waxing worse, as many believe? Or is the hopelessness of man simply a product of his thinking, his own actions, his personal beliefs? Why does it seem that so many negative beliefs have such strong rule over a man? Why does man's will so easily choose the way of doom and gloom, and why is he so easily persuaded by the doubting Thomases of this world? Why do we bend toward those beliefs when it is just as easy to believe the ideas that Jesus spoke of? I paraphrase.
But that's not you, for you are not of this world. You are not to be concerned about how bad it is. You need only be concerned that I give you peace. Not as the world gives. I give you joy. Not sadness. I give you hope. Take that into the world. Declare that among the voices that cry, "Destruction!" If you are only a still, small voice in the crowd, well, do you not know how powerful that still, small voice can be?
LAF obeys only that still, small voice. LAF has the keys to the kingdom whose gates need no key. In fact, LAF exists to lead us to that door, that open door, to stand beside those who, because of fear, do not enter through the open door, who do not allow the sunlit breeze of love to filter through the lens of enlightenment, who do not allow the fullness of faith to lift them to the heights of purest passion, who cannot forgive others because they do not possess the knowledge of the power in forgiving themselves. LAF has a name for those who stand beside us on either side of that door. LAF calls them, wait for it, he calls them brother. LAF understands our misguided understanding of our place in this world, how it seems easier for us to accept our lot in life and to keep walking down the smoke-filled roads, blind to the path that leads away from the burning forest, not knowing that even the straight and narrow path can still lead to discontentment. LAF understands why man shoots aimlessly at love, his arrow falling short of the target, and finds himself lost deeper still in the fires of misfortune. LAF does not judge. LAF moves within us, guiding us, nudging us toward the person we know ourselves to be. LAF reminds us that when our world is on fire, we should pray for rain. LAF heals. LAF is the arrow of our soul that finds the target through the darkness of this world's lies. LAF knows that it is a good thing when we are told,
"Be sure, Your sins will find you out.
It is not some kind of judgment for our bad past. Falling short is for the purpose of finding ourselves. Like the archer who shoots at the target and the arrow falls short, the world cries out,
"Sinner, sinner, you missed again."
Sinner? LAF knows what a sinner is. The sinner is not someone whose failed attempt at perfection falls short, only to be judged and sentenced to eternal separation. Sin is merely an arrow lying on the ground, exhausted and powerless, having fallen short of the target, waiting for the archer to retrieve it and shoot it again. LAF knows me. LAF knows you. A sinner is an archer who went out into the field for the very purpose of hitting the target, whose arrow fell short on its way to the bullseye, and who understands the pain of failure. A sinner need only realize that the fallen arrow is closer to the target than when it was first sent on its way. An archer doesn't walk away a failure. A wise archer doesn't keep shooting his arrow from such a great distance as to always fall short of the target, but walks toward the fallen arrow, picks it up, then aims again. Look how much closer the archer is to the target now. Hope arises. If the archer could just take better aim, be more patient as he pulls back the arrow in the bow, knowing that missing the first time has taught him a lesson and has actually brought him closer to the target. Let the arrow of your last failure fly. Everyone knows that rising from a defeat makes a person stronger, closer to the goal. Every mistake in the right direction makes the bullseye larger because it is now closer. Oops, missed again. But wait, take another shot. Now the target is even closer. How can he miss now? LAF understands that missing the mark doesn't mean,
"You missed, you miserable sinner."
No, it just means,
"You missed. Try again."
ready, aim, release.
Bullseye.
That's what LAF knows. LAF never gives up. LAF knows that a person who continually commits himself to hitting the target is always one step closer to it. There is a powerful tool in the arsenal of faith, in the quiver, if you will. It is called past mistakes. You have missed so many times. Big deal. You're not alone. All have failed. Failure doesn't make you different than others. It makes you equal to them. It also doesn't make you a failure. A true failure is someone who fails to try again, then they die. You're not dead yet. Your arrow keeps missing the mark, falling short of its goal, its purpose. Big deal. Go to the arrow. It is designed to hit the target. It knows its purpose in life. When the arrow falls short, misses the mark, the bowman cannot blame the arrow. It is not just the arrow's purpose to hit the target, but the archer's purpose also. The archer doesn't run to the arrow and give it a spanking, doesn't blame the wind for slowing down the arrow, doesn't blame someone else for being in the way. There are countless ways to find blame. We even go so far as to blame the target. But the arrow still knows its mission, its purpose, the target. Let's call the arrow your purpose in life, your calling, the very essence of who you know yourself to be. Run to the arrow that has fallen short so many times. Pick it up, clean it off, restring it onto the bow. Everyone who has ever failed, tried, and tried again can attest to the one clear truth. The more attempts, the closer the target. Run to your mistakes. Embrace them. They fell short, yes, but you are closer to the target now. Shoot the arrow of faith from the point of failure with the belief that the target is closer now. Let the arrow fly again. Never. I meant to say never, ever blame the arrow for missing the target. LAF understands that it takes years of practice, missing the mark often, to be a great sharpshooter. LAF is not a wild man yielding an axe who sets out to destroy everything in his path on the way to winning a kingdom. LAF is an expert bowman, careful to keep a focused aim on only one goal, hitting the target. What is your goal? Is it a good one? Are you concentrating on the center of your goal as you shoot your arrow into each day? Have you missed the mark again? Good for you. That means you have faith. You have been trying. You are not on the sidelines watching others compete. You don't have time to criticize other archers. You have nothing to complain about. Look how close you are now. Muster up the courage to try one more time. You will surely hit the target when you are sure you will hit the target. Whatever your goal in life is, you will get closer with each release of your arrow. Warning: if all you do is focus on the frustration of missing the mark all the time, it will eventually become your goal. The target becomes what you want it to become. Negative talk and negative thoughts produce negative results. It's like shooting an arrow without a bow. Now that is the ultimate sinner. Not everyone sees the target from your point of view. Do not expect them to do so. Some are farther away from the target, some closer. And there are many different targets out there. If you want to be a champion based on what others have told you a champion is, you might find yourself shooting at their target instead of yours. Find your target. Find your dream. Aim straight. Never quit. Every time you fail, look up. See how close you are now? There is one last little piece of advice LAF would offer. You are not competing with some enemy behind you, waiting to shoot you in the back, or a little devil whispering in your ear that you are not worthy. Life is about you and the target. The only enemy you have is your own lack of determination to succeed and to accept failure. No one is to blame for you missing the mark. The target is not some unreachable goal that God places in the darkness that only the very fortunate ones find. The target is a call upon your heart, and all it takes to get it right is to compete against any self-doubt you might have had in the past. You know, back there when you missed the first time? I promise you this, closer you get to the target, shot after shot, the clearer the voice that cries out to you from that bullseye up ahead.
Well done. You're doing good. You got this.